Ancient healers had perfect thyroid health into old age. Not because thyroid disease did not exist, but because the slow, silent dysfunction we now call hypothyroidism, the condition affecting 1 in 8 women and millions of men who have never been diagnosed, was almost entirely unknown to populations living on traditional diets. Your thyroid is a small butterfly-shaped gland at the base of your throat. It controls your metabolism, your body temperature, your heart rate, your mood, your weight, your energy, your hair, your skin, and the speed at which every single cell in your body functions. It is the master regulator of the human body, and when it slows, when it produces too little of the hormones that drive everything, the entire body slows with it. The symptoms are so gradual, so varied, so easy to dismiss as simply getting older: the fatigue, the weight gain, the cold hands, the brain fog, the thinning hair, the low mood, that most people carry a struggling thyroid for years before anyone thinks to test it. And many who are tested are told their numbers are normal when they are anything but. Ancient healers did not have blood tests, but they observed these same patterns in their patients, and across thousands of years of careful observation, they identified specific foods that kept the thyroid strong, the metabolism fired, and the body vital into old age. Modern endocrinology has now studied those same foods. The findings confirm what ancient healers knew. This is exactly what they ate. The first food ancient healers prescribed for thyroid health was seaweed. Ancient Chinese physicians documented seaweed as a medicine for the swelling of the neck, what we now recognize as goitre, the visible enlargement of the thyroid caused by iodine deficiency. Ancient Japanese healers prescribed it as a daily food for what they called the preservation of the body's vital fire, the metabolic energy that keeps the body warm, alert, and functioning. They did not know about iodine, the mineral the thyroid requires above all others to produce its hormones. Without sufficient iodine, the thyroid cannot function. It is the single most critical nutrient for thyroid health, and seaweed contains more of it than almost any other food on Earth. Modern endocrinology confirms that iodine deficiency is the most common cause of thyroid dysfunction globally. Ancient coastal populations who consumed seaweed daily had almost no thyroid disease. Inland populations who did not had significantly higher rates. Ancient healers observed this pattern across generations. They prescribed seaweed as medicine. They were correct. The second food was Brazil nuts. Ancient South American healers prescribed specific large forest nuts for what they observed as the condition of the slow body. The patient who was always cold, always tired, always gaining weight despite eating little. They did not know about selenium, the mineral that converts the thyroid's inactive hormone, T4, into the active hormone T3 that the body can actually use. Without sufficient selenium, T4 accumulates unused in the blood while the body starves for active thyroid hormone, producing every symptom of hypothyroidism even when the thyroid itself is producing adequately. Brazil nuts contain more selenium per gram than any other food on Earth. 2 Brazil nuts per day provides the full daily requirement of selenium. Ancient healers prescribed 2 to 3 of these large nuts daily, a specific number that has survived across generations of observation. Modern endocrinology confirms that selenium supplementation significantly improves thyroid hormone conversion, reduces thyroid antibodies in autoimmune thyroid disease, and protects the thyroid gland from the oxidative damage that drives its destruction over time. The third food was ginger. Ancient Ayurvedic physicians classified ginger as the primary medicine for what they called the cold constitution, the body type characterized by slow metabolism, difficulty staying warm, low energy, and the gradual accumulation of weight. This precise description matches the modern clinical picture of hypothyroidism exactly. Ancient healers prescribed fresh ginger in warm water every morning specifically for this constitution, to ignite the digestive fire, stimulate circulation, and activate what they understood as the body's internal heat system. Modern research confirms that the active compounds in ginger, gingerols, and shogaols directly stimulate metabolism, improve circulation to the thyroid gland, reduce the inflammation that drives autoimmune thyroid disease, and support the conversion of thyroid hormones at the cellular level. Ancient healers were describing the precise physiological effect without knowing the mechanism. The fourth food was turmeric. Ancient healers across India, China, and the Arab world prescribed turmeric specifically for inflammatory conditions affecting the glands and organs. Hashimoto's thyroiditis, the autoimmune condition that destroys the thyroid and is now the most common cause of hypothyroidism in the developed world, is fundamentally a disease of chronic inflammation. The immune system attacks the thyroid gland as if it were a foreign invader, destroying its tissue slowly over years or decades. Curcumin, the active compound in turmeric, directly suppresses the inflammatory pathways that drive autoimmune thyroid destruction. It reduces thyroid antibody levels, protects thyroid tissue from oxidative damage, and modulates the immune response that turns against the thyroid in autoimmune disease. Ancient healers prescribed turmeric daily in fat-based preparations. Modern immunology confirms it targets the precise inflammatory mechanisms that destroy the thyroid. The fifth food was coconut oil. Ancient healers across tropical regions of Asia, the Pacific, and Africa prescribed coconut preparations specifically for the slow body, the cold body, the fatigued body that could not maintain its heat or its energy. They observed that populations consuming coconut daily maintained stronger metabolic function into old age compared to those who did not. The medium-chain triglycerides in coconut oil are metabolized differently from all other dietary fats. They bypass the normal fat digestion pathway and are converted directly to energy in the liver, providing immediate metabolic fuel that does not depend on thyroid hormone to be utilized. For a thyroid that is struggling to produce sufficient hormone, coconut oil provides metabolic support that functions independently of the thyroid's output. Ancient healers observed the energy effect. Modern metabolism research explains exactly why it occurs. The sixth food was pumpkin seeds. Ancient healers across Mesoamerica, Asia, and the Middle East all prescribed pumpkin seeds for conditions of weakness, fatigue, and what they described as the failure of the body's vital energy. They did not know about zinc, the mineral that is essential for the production of thyroid-stimulating hormone, the conversion of T4 to T3, and the binding of thyroid hormones to their receptors throughout the body. Without sufficient zinc, the entire thyroid hormone system breaks down at multiple points simultaneously. Pumpkin seeds are among the richest plant sources of zinc on Earth. Ancient healers prescribed them as a daily food, roasted and eaten by the handful. Modern endocrinology confirms that zinc deficiency directly impairs thyroid function and that zinc supplementation improves thyroid hormone levels in deficient patients. Ancient healers observed the effect. Modern science confirms the mechanism. The seventh food was ashwagandha. Ancient Ayurvedic physicians prescribed ashwagandha specifically for what they called thyroid weakness, the condition of the slow, cold, exhausted body that had lost its vital fire. They classified it as a rasayana, a rejuvenating preparation that restored the body's fundamental energy systems. They did not know about the hypothalamic pituitary thyroid axis, the hormonal communications system that governs thyroid function. They simply observed that patients who consumed ashwagandha daily saw their cold constitutions warm, their energy return, and their metabolism strengthen. A randomized, double-blind clinical trial published in the Journal of Alternative and Complementary Medicine found that ashwagandha supplementation significantly increased T3 and T4 thyroid hormone levels in patients with subclinical hypothyroidism. Significantly, a double-blind trial for an herb ancient healers prescribed for this exact condition thousands of years ago. Their observation was not guesswork. It was centuries of accumulated human evidence. 7 foods: seaweed, Brazil nuts, ginger, turmeric, coconut oil, pumpkin seeds, ashwagandha. Ancient healers did not know about T3 and T4. They did not know about iodine, selenium, or zinc. They did not know about the hypothalamic pituitary thyroid axis. They simply observed, across generations of careful attention, that certain foods kept the body's vital fire burning and certain foods allowed it to go cold. If you are always tired, always cold, always gaining weight despite doing everything right, if your hair is thinning and your mood is low and your thinking is slow, do not dismiss these as simply getting older. Ancient healers recognized this pattern. They had a prescription for it, and the modern world has forgotten almost every food they used. Start with 2 Brazil nuts tomorrow morning. That single habit, the one that costs almost nothing, gives your thyroid the selenium it may have been missing for years. If this helped you today, share it with one woman in your life whose tiredness you want to protect. She may not know that what ancient healers knew has been waiting for her all along. Subscribe to Ancient Body Wisdom and come back every single week. There is so much more they knew, and we are only just beginning.